Right, welcome everyone. Welcome to this special event, the first one in a series that we're hosting around how do we sense make our way from this crisis. We will be speaking about the crisis itself and being in the midst of this, and we'll be speaking about how we sense make our way out of this, and there are many aspects to this. Before we start, let me introduce today's panelist. I'm going to turn to Amy first, Amy Zalman, who perhaps you can say a few words about yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Sar. I am Amy Zalman, the CEO of Prescient, and we are very happy to be co-sponsoring this important conversation. Prescient is a foresight consultancy based in the United States. The word prescient means having knowledge of events before they take place, and that is what we help clients do. I'm also a professor of strategic foresight at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., and I founded and run an executive foresight education program called the Foresight Sandbox for professionals that want to learn to think and plan like a futurist. We will be running that course online this year, so it is for the very first time available to anyone in the world who'd like to take it. Thanks.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Amy. And it's great to have you here on this event. I know you're physically far, but online as close as we are. So I appreciate it. We also have Tashmia here with us. Tashmia, would you like to introduce yourself, perhaps?
Thank you. I'm Tashmia Ismail Saville, the Chief Executive at the Youth Employment Service. We're an innovative experiment between government and business to look at how policy can drive youth employment opportunities. I would say as an experiment, it's been successful. In 16 months, we've created 35,000 work opportunities for youth in South Africa. This puts about 1.4 billion into the economy in salaries. We're firm believers that we can think and problem solve and innovate our way out of the current crisis. And this topic was really meaningful for YES because these are exactly the kinds of themes that we are battling with at the moment. The country needs youth employment. And so for leaders like myself and the others on this call, hopefully this conversation empowers you to make the decisions that gets our country and countries around the world out of this crisis.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tashmia. And I must say, I've been working with Tashmia's organization for a while now, and it's really inspiring to see what you and your team are doing in the South African scene. And I will be talking about that a little bit later. So thank you for that. A few words perhaps for the audience. You are very much part of the reason as to why this event has taken place. So please see this not as a webinar. In fact, you'll be seeing no slides in this particular presentation. This is really a conversation between us. So it's really nice to see more of you joining in. And I'd really like to hear from you in terms of the question and the areas you would want us to tackle. There will be a Q&A facility, and as your question come up, we will not always be able to address them at the moment. And I know there's a dedicated spot for this in the second half of this particular event. But we certainly are monitoring these and will try to answer as many questions as we can. Perhaps a couple of words about how this event in fact started. This really started as a conversation between us and a number of our partners around both seeing how challenging, how difficult, how frustrating it is at times to try and deal with this particular crisis, the uncertainty of it, the lack of information around it, and still the need for us as leaders in our own organization and in broader society to make decisions in the now. And this brought about a series of conversations, internally at first, and then with others, as to how do we make sense of this. There is no rule book here. There is no exact example we can point to in history that looks exactly like this, that we can tap onto. So making sense of this became a real pursuit for us. And after a number of conversations, the decision was taken to really make this something public, something that you can participate in, that you can bring your own point of view, your own understanding, and share with us how you are dealing with how we start to emerge from this particular crisis. So this is very much part of this. We decided to see this more as a fire chat than anything else. And I'm really looking forward to today's program.